It's another day here on Splash Play NBA, and this one's going to feel like a lot of other days because Austin Reeves just got rolled out 1 minute before the stream is about to start. But nevertheless, we persist. We're going to compare my projections to some of the industry leaders out there, like Stokastic, like our friends at Unabated. We're also going to see what Unabated has for us in terms of the best bets today. Also check the DFS sits. I can't help but laugh at this point when my plans for a good show get lit ablaze. I was in my mind like I have to cape for Austin Reeves. I'm gonna have to. You're gonna see so much Austin Reeves. Anyway, we'll do what we always do. There, we're gonna get you guys ready. You'll get some splash plays at the end of the video. You'll know the must play is blah blah blah. Let's get into it. And our Q tag tweet for the day, which is already irrelevant. Q tags right now: Tyrese Halliburton, Deuce McBride. These are the big ones. Halliburton, I wrote it for the DK Network today. Basically, my sense is that with him, the last 2 games being out. Led to one big day for TJ McConnell. That was a situation where McConnell got more minutes because of Halliburton, A, being out, and then B, you had Nembhard being ejected from that game after throwing some shots at Rudy Gobert, vice versa as well. Then the game after that was not so much McConnell, was a lot more of Nembhard going off. So Halliburton Q tag to me a really important one. Also has some pretty big implications of the Unabated bet simulation tool, where in particular for Nembhard, like right now. So if Halliburton does play, Nembhard's under is like one of the best EV bets of the day on DraftKings Sportsbook. If Nembhard doesn't. If Halliburton doesn't play, Nembhard's over on PRAs, then also one of the best bets of the day on DraftKings Sportsbook. So the Halliburton stuff matters a lot for the DFS component, for the prop betting component. I do want to highlight that for you guys because, the betting thing I know enough of you guys are doing. You should be aware of that. Well, let's look at my projections, which I got to give Jake credit to. Like, this just made me laugh. Where is it? Surely Spags planned for Reeves to be rolled out at 4:01 p.m. Yes, it's where my head was at the entire day. Got some alohas here. Shout out to CJ. The birthday week for him continues on, much like my son. And shout out to all you guys as well who did give me some nice well wishes for Luca's 3rd birthday yesterday. Don't worry, honey. We'll stay anyway. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. No Reeves, no Luca. Flame on. I mean, this is a situation now for the Lakers, and there's not. I mean, let's do the thing. We can look at projections like we always do, but this just broke. So I think it could be maybe a helpful thought exercise for you guys if I walk you through how I would normally look at this stuff. All right, so the Lakers are going to have like no minutes this year, where it's LeBron off, Luka off, Anthony Davis off, Russell off, Reeves off. And if they do, I imagine it's going to be like really shitty minutes where nobody does anything. So let's add Russell on top of this. Let's just go for the full Monty here. And this is, again, add more funds, NBA WoW. It used to be a free product. Then it got rolled into this company. You have to pay $10 a month. It's one of the best purchases you could make if you do NBA stuff every day. I feel like we got to take out Reeves himself now. So Reeves, you can see, would be a monster here. 1.55 fantasy points a minute. He would have been my best play of the day. He ended up at 80% of the semi-round before the show, which I now have to light on fire digitally. So Dalton Connect, lock button play. He's gunning here. Only 85 minutes, though, so we're not getting enough of a sample size. I didn't pull in the possession numbers. Let me do that quickly here so we get a read on if it is close to the 550 possessions that we always talk about being when rates start to stabilize more. So only 168 possessions, so not where we want to be, but good enough. Connect looking good. Shake Milton played 28 minutes last time that Luka was out, so he was a player to me that I thought would get a bump up today. I think at this point, Shake Milton would be another player I'd look at. Bronny's not good at most things, but he does get usage. He does rebound a little, does assist a little, sometimes gets some steals too, which you're not seeing on the screen. I would think, though, based on the performance, Connect to me looks like a lock button play. Rui's out, so he's not in the picture. Jordan Goodwin, with the minutes he'll get, probably close to I want to say lock button, but like you're gonna get these guys like the Thunder yesterday, where hopefully you guys are with me on some of the key players. Wiggins is a player I mentioned I was gonna have 100% of basically on the show. Ended up getting 100% of Jalen Williams as well when Hartenstein got ruled out. So that's the situation you're in today. It's not as good of a team, not as good of a situation. The players aren't as good as the Thunder guys, but now the Lakers players are all up in the air in terms of being options that you can play. Connect, Goodwin, Vanderbilt, can he get enough minutes? I don't know. It's tough. Milton, I would still take the shot on here. These guys are all very much in play tonight. So the data, though, we're going to throw out the window besides the Lakers part we're going to throw out. You can see here the projection I would have had for Austin Reeves, 56. Stochastic did not update their minutes before the show, so they must have known something was coming, I guess. Let's see. Check the chats, too. Thank you, Larry, for that. Hope Luke had a great birthday. He did. He always wants more. He always wants more gifts, but we did well. Funny you mentioned things going up in flames, helping my in-laws install a hot water heater. First thing I did was make sure the gas. Yeah, that's always an important thing to do. Try not to blow up houses. It's one of the rules here of splash play. It's like play DFS as intelligently as you can and try not to blow up your house along the way. All right, so top projected players. It's just everything else. It's going to matter a little bit less than it usually does here, where I really try to tighten things up, make sure it's good. Giannis looks great, though. Giannis getting the boost that we always talk about, plays slightly better. We're not having Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton available anymore. Guys like Kyle Kuzma do less than them. Even Damian Lillard, his rates at a certain point expected to kind of stabilize where they've been the entire year, but he does get a little bit less usage, actually. Let me make sure I'm quoting this correctly. Lillard's usage is normally about 28%. In court time without Middleton and Portis, it goes down to 26. Conversely, Giannis is normally about 35%. He goes up to 36.5 court time without Middleton and Portis. So, well, you just saw an NBA Wow is the way that I pull those every day. And that's where, too, I guess we have to have the Grimes debate a little bit. That's where you land on Quentin Grimes, and that's where you start to understand that Quentin Grimes is getting 21 shots in a game. Quentin Grimes, by the way, third best shooting guard in yesterday's slate, even though people who I love dearly may want to FUD him on their streams in the morning. That's what we're trying to do here is like, at least in terms of how I approach DFS, I want to isolate these small things, try to extrapolate the parts that I think will be relatively stable over a larger sample size. Giannis has been better than Lillard with Portis and Middleton out. And the results haven't been there every game, but frankly, I think you've seen Lillard be a little bit less ceiling-minded, I guess, in terms of his DFS production. And it's because that usage isn't quite as high, the assist rate not quite as high. He's still averaging about 1.15, fantasy points per minute in my projections today, but he's normally at about 1.18 on the year. So for whatever reason, having Portis and Middleton out, making Giannis do more, and that's why Giannis tends to be a player I get a lot in these slates. The other night, I had him in 100% of my lineups, so you can get him everywhere. He ended up losing to Kawhi straight up. Jimmy Butler was close enough to his score where he ended up not being the right play. But once again, if you lose Reeves here, it's like you're talking about, for me, a 10-point projection difference between him and Karl-Anthony Towns, who also killed some lineups yesterday. Lillard questionable too? Oh, we're having fun. We're having fun. March Madness in college basketball in the NBA. Yes, it is indeed. I can't, man. So Giannis today looks like the best player in the slate. I'm going to get more now that Reeves is not an option as well. Getting him in 36% of my top 150 before the show. And if Lillard were out, you would get more of Giannis. Ryan Rollins has been down the rotation, so I think you would get pretty much lock button Kevin Porter at that point. Kuzma would look better, but I still probably wouldn't want to play Kuzma personally too much because he's just been awful on the Bucks, averaging under 20% usage, under a 10% rebound rate, 10% assist rate. Kuzma's been, I know I've said it on stream enough, one of my least favorite players in the NBA this year for fantasy and in real life NBA stuff. If Lillard were out, it's gonna change. They're all too busy. No one's playing today. They're all too busy watching everything, watching the college basketball, watching Creighton lose. I put a bet because of Odds Shopper today. I put a bet on stupid High Point to cover in the first half. They didn't cover. I'm sure, again, that's the small sample size of one bet, but I was like, motherfuckers. They had like so few college basketball bets on DraftKings. I was like, I got to get in one, and High Point did not do it. So Dame Q tag, that's it for now. I don't know, guys. We'll figure it out as we go. Towns looks good. 29% for me, 17% for the field. Still like Towns here, obviously, on most slates. He did not do well versus San Antonio yesterday. He also got straight up outscored by Mamu off the bench, Mamukelashvili, whose name I think I said it right, but I'm not sure if I did. That guy is such a great per minute guy. Doesn't ever get the run. Still only played 20 minutes in the game. Put up 55 fantasy points. Towns today on a back-to-back. No Mitchell Robinson does help him out a little bit more. I think that he's a good play again, as I've always had this entire year. I like Towns with Brunson out. He and Josh Hart look like better plays overall because everything that Brunson leaves behind tends to flow Towns' way, tends to flow Hart's way. Frankly, Towns is now disappointed on enough slates. He didn't help out some teams of mine yesterday, not getting to 50 fantasy points. Really loaded teams with Thunder. It's very upsetting. I think he's a good play today. I think Giannis is the better play, though. But, there is obviously much cheaper. LaMelo Ball looking okay to me. Not really anything too outlandish here. I might need to adjust Charlotte's rates a little bit when I get off stream, which I'm going to look at in between the shows. Deeper dive at 5 p.m. today for me again as well. My pal Eric Lindquist today, back with him after missing last week. For LaMelo Ball, though, I think in an okay situation for him. Charlotte's team total, a little bit low versus New York, but New York on a back-to-back. So 107.3 for Charlotte, basically about a point up on where they've been scoring this year. So for LaMelo, I think an okay play. Low ownership is nice. Certainly not having Austin Reeves will make me more prone to get some LaMelo, I guess. Steph Curry, not much ownership going his way. Really, I think having Kuminga in the lineup is not helping out how his projections would work, at least for me. Very high price tag for him on these kind of slates where it's not the biggest slate. We only have our 5 games. As we are seeing right now, players getting ruled out who might be playable, like Damian Lillard, a reasonable $8,500 price tag. Maybe people get to Curry a little bit more. Maybe, the ownership's not high enough because he could put up 50 in a given slate and whatever. The Golden State matchup today, I think they are the second best team total in the slate, 119.8. Because somebody has 120. If I can remember that, right? Yeah, Sacramento's got 120 today. Actually, 120.8. So Sacramento higher than Golden State, but still Golden State number 2 in terms of the overall scoring. And one of those given days, like Steph Curry could take the majority of the scoring for the team and obviously go nuts. And especially, going against a team like Toronto where guys not playing that hard, rotations are going to be shorter minutes of the stars. That could be a day where Steph puts on a show versus Toronto. So 3% ownership for Steph on this kind of slate where I think the ownership is going to start to push more towards Giannis, maybe a little bit more towards Towns. I do think that it could be a Steph Curry day to go to as like low owned leverage against that. DeMar DeRozan looks good because having no Sabonis in. The assumption is Zach LaVine plays after missing last game, I believe, for a personal issue. But 20% for the field for DeRozan. I'm getting him at 20. Again, Austin Reeves being out. I think I'm going to probably get more DeRozan because he does project pretty well today. Miles Bridges, not so great. Still have a fantasy point higher than Stokastic. I needed to juice the rates for Charlotte's historical stuff without Brandon Miller, but I didn't do it today because I thought the projection looked good enough to start. So for Miles Bridges, about 2% for me. He's been playing well enough, as we've seen. Even got a rest day here, so should be fresher than he's been lately, where he's been kind of getting grounded down to the nub. So Miles Bridges, low owned as well. Him and Steph Curry really are 2 guys here. You see the ownership, there's a ceiling there. If you can get there and you don't play Giannis, it could be interesting. Maybe you could, honestly, depends how the slate goes. Maybe you could play him with Giannis. Malik Monk, 19.7% ownership for the field, 17% for me. No real big stand here, but he does look better. Again, because of not having Sabonis in, but also historical numbers without De'Aaron Fox. In general, for Sacramento, the big winner from not having those guys has been actually Jonas Valanciunas. He averages 1.2 fantasy points per minute, which is the highest on the team. DeRozan has been okay at 1.1 fantasy points per minute, about 27% usage, which is an increase, 25% assist rate, which I believe is a little bit of an increase for him. Monk gets to about 24% usage and a 28% assist rate with 1.05 fantasy points per minute. And LaVine's been awful for whatever reason on the Kings, with Sabonis off and obviously Fox off because they got traded for each other, or not traded for each other, traded in the same timeline. LaVine got 24% usage, 13% assist rate, 0.95 fantasy points per minute. And that's on 69% true shooting. So for whatever reason, when Sabonis isn't out there, LaVine's not getting the ball as much. I presume it's because J-Val is taking a lot more away in the post and not giving it back. So that'd be my thought. And these are your top projected guys. Again, Lillard, Q-Tag, as we've heard. Josh Hart getting the boost from No Brunson. Tyrese Halliburton, Q-Tag, I talked about up top. If he's out, it's going to matter a lot for Nembhard. I think people miss a lot that Nembhard's your biggest beneficiary when Halliburton's out. When Nembhard and Halliburton are out, then it's like open season on McConnell. But in general, that's one thing I would highlight here. Let's sort by value. So again, with this, so this is before Austin Reeves is out. With Austin Reeves still in, I had Dalton Connect for 35 fantasy points. I imagine now the projection is going to get stupid high because of the fact that there's just so many stats being vacated out, with Reeves out, with Luka out, with LeBron out. The historical rates, as we showed earlier, if you want to scroll back, those first thing we did in the video, looking at the Lakers overall in court time without the various guys who are missing now, which are all the players who've gotten up basically all the usage on the team. Dalton Connect's the only one that's shown underlying usage, really. He does it in every group. He's produced pretty well. So I think Connect, to me, is going to probably be projected in my projections 45 or something like that. It would be my guess. At a minimum, he might be in that Quentin Grimes territory. We'll have him for 50, and everybody will laugh. And then I'll be the one who laughs all the way to a top 100 finish. It's been my fucking luck lately. But Austin Reeves being out, it just matters a lot for Connect. If Reeves had played, he would have been a top value for me despite being 9,100. So you could see here, start to get a read of how much production is being opened up when you just have these very important Lakers not available. And for what it's worth, Reeves, if there is a future day where LeBron's out, Luka's out, you've seen it a few times this year, you play Austin Reeves, man. He has been a killer. He has averaged with those guys off the court 1.55 fantasy points a minute, 36% usage, 35% assist rate on 63% true shooting. Like, he has been a lights out, like, killer in every category. I when he came to the league, people would call him Hillbilly Kobe as like the joke because he was kind of a gunner who'd get a lot of shots up somewhat recklessly. Reeves is like, I've been really impressed by him this year. He's been one of those dudes, the opposite of Kyle Kuzma for me. But we're not going to get to play him tonight. So that's the downer. D'Angelo Russell, you can see my skeptical here. We'll go full screen for this. This is, in my opinion, my skeptical, my quizzical, not quizzical, that's more of like a joking, my questioning face. Let's say that. For Russell, though, he's been playing about 27, 28 minutes the last 3 games that he's been active. You're also getting Cam Johnson out. The matchup today for them going against an Indiana team that is giving up a pretty good production lately to a lot of opposing players. I think it's a good spot for Russell. So 57% for the field feels like a lot for a guy that is maybe not guaranteed to get to 30 minutes. I mean, it's honestly very unlikely he does get to 30, but I would have him averaging about 1.25 fantasy points per minute. He's had a high assist rate, 42%, high usage rate, 29% with the various nets that are no longer available, going back to no Schroeder, no Ben Simmons, obviously no Cam Thomas the rest of the year. So Russell, to me, is a good play today. He and Connect at this price tag, I think, are your core plays. And frankly, I would say, even though I am skeptical, as people are saying, people like it skeptical, quizzical would have been okay in that context. All right. I forget what it was because I feel like that was an SAT word that but quizzical, I think, is like joking in some way. Like it's not, I don't know. Anyway, for Russell, I think that he is a very strong play. He might end up in the vast majority of my lineups, but I do think the ownership being that high, it's reasonable to look at like what else can we get. And if he didn't play point guard, you're probably looking at more Jalen Wilson handling the ball would be my guess. Watford obviously is another guy who could take over possessions and does have a 30% assist rate in court time as well without the various nets that aren't available. So those would be your pivot points to not play Russell. And I think that's sort of why I'm inclined to not say him have in every lineup. Connect, I think it's in every lineup. Russell, I think it's into the majority of lineups. And then the ones I don't have him, I think I want to make pivots off of him on the same team. Campaign. So minutes for him should be a little bit higher for him theoretically because last time meaning yesterday. Yesterday he played 17 minutes, and then obviously it's a back-to-back today, so he's going to be a little bit fresher, you assume, especially with McBride and the Q tag if he weren't to play. Then things could really get interesting for Campaign. As it is right now with McBride being a Q tag and still in the projection set, you would think that Campaign looks like an okay value play. If McBride's out, they have to play Campaign more, at least theoretically. And that would lead him to be the chalk of all chalk at 3,100. So Campaign looks pretty good right now. I have him averaging over a fantasy point per minute, counting for the matchup and everything today. 22% of the field's lineups. He's got 32% of mine. He would be in every lineup if you got McBride out, who is Q tag right now. Quentin Post looks okay. 11% for me, 5% for the field. Lakers might throw off some of the ownership for these guys too. Like if McBride plays, Campaign might come down because you're going to have better Lakers value out there. You're just vacating too many stats for the Lakers to not get a bunch of Lakers would be my guess. Kevin Porter Jr. looks pretty good already. 16% ownership for the field. I'm at 28. Downgrade for Lillard here. Not a good thing in terms of him playing. So Porter Jr., I believe that's the last game on the slate, right? Yeah. Milwaukee Lakers, the 10:30 start time. So with these guys sitting on the Lakers side, Lillard being downgraded, I think there's a pretty good shot you get Lillard out tonight. And if so, Kevin Porter Jr. at 3,700, I think pretty much a lock button play. Taurean Prince going to get more opportunity if he plays. He's still not very good, but there was a point in fantasy where he's good. And frankly, he's spiked enough on the Bucks this year. You can play Taurean Prince 3,900 as well. 22% for me, but again, it's all going to be different. Shake Milton looked good to me as a result of getting some more minutes from Luka not being in. Now with Reeves not being in, I think Shake Milton probably has to play like 30 minutes. So Shake Milton, another good value at 3,700. Oh my gosh. Karl Anthony Towns, we talked about. Watford, if you're not playing Russell, probably give a boost to Watford, even though they're not the same position. They're going to kind of eat from the same part of the pie. And that's the value. That's all the metrics. We're going to go game by game here, but obviously, I assume nobody has updated their data yet. Has Stokastic updated anything? You guys know? Because if they've updated their minutes, I could pull it in and rerun things if we want to try to do that. And if not, no, still 7 hours ago. So, all right. I'm going to check the chats for a moment here. Just going to catch up. Learned some English today. There we go. Quizzical means puzzled or questioning, though can also means confused, surprised, comical, or mocking. There we go. All right. So that was what was in my brain. A lot of definitions for quizzical, though. Bronny start tonight. He does have an athletic profile that came out today. That would be kind of fun. Look, I'd take a shot on Bronny. I mean, Bronny has to be the minimum, right? He's not even on my top 12. We're going to freestyle a little bit more than usual today, guys. I love to have a nice, tight, organized show. We're still going to get to Unabated's best bets at the halfway point, but this slate just got blown up right before the show, so I'm not gonna try to bullshit you guys, and I mean not bullshit you guys, but like just talk out my ass entirely. But Bronny, 3K salary, point guard, shooting guard. I can't show it on this screen. I did make a player search tool for myself on my Excel, so I could see how guys perform overall. So Bronny's averaging 0.7 fantasy points per minute, 22% usage, 11% assist rate. Per 100, he's been putting up 16.5 points. He's jacking up 11 threes, 5 boards, 4 assists. It's not bad. Look, I think it's fun. The idea of playing Bronny Knight's fun. He's not a serious play. Like you're like, you know, like Dalton Connect's your serious play. He's going to fucking go nuts. I think, going to be the star of the team. Bronny can do enough. I think Bronny can do enough. What? That's crazy. What do you? No. What? Austin Reeves is out? What? Come on. Why do you think I'm talking about fucking Bronny James, man? You think I'm just talking about Bronny James for fun? You think he's like, I thought he was like a legit serious play? Come on, dude. All right. Shout out Alfonso, though. I mean, people are excited. That's why I covered it at a lot of length up top. If you want to see the Lakers rates and stuff earlier in the video, I did go through it at a lot of depth, so I get it. Vanderbilt now doubtful, too. As nobody mentioned that one. Finney Smith doubtful. What are they going to play tonight? What are they going to fucking do? All right, I don't know, man. This is fun. I mean, like, I know you're saying I'm losing it. This is ridiculous. Like, this is just, the chat was ridiculous. Come on. Yeah, Lakers don't really have forwards. I mean, this is fucking insane. All right, let's just go to the Lakers again. I'm just gonna talk Lakers the entire fucking hour. You get my projections, by the way, if you want to join down below. You can see this screen that I have laid out before you with the key stats, not the Stokastic data, not their ownership or whatever, but everything else on here. I do update throughout the night as well. And frankly, like last night, I just ran my projections. I didn't really do a lot of tweaking. I one of the best nights I've had, like, in this year, I'd say. And it was with Quentin Grimes in every lineup because, as I mentioned in the Discord, I just locked him in. Oh, also check this shit out, guys. Hey, join the Discord, by the way. Link down below if you want to just get the Discord access, $5. You also want my data. You can join the Squirt Squad tier or the VIP tier. But look, you don't even have to see me on camera and I can plug shit. But check that out. And of course, Unabated, they put up with me putting this show out there. So please check them out as well. 20% off. Link down below. And Stokastic, whenever they update their stuff, you can check it out for 15% off down below. Yeah, but we're doing full screen ads now, boys. Thank you. All right, so Lakers. Let's look at the Lakers. All right. You're taking Vanderbilt out. So for me, that was 23 minutes. You're taking Finney Smith out. That's 31.5 minutes. They don't have Kleber. They have to bring Alex Len back in. I would think Markieff Morris now has to play. My God, what is Markieff Morris going to play? How many minutes can this shithead play? I mean, Koloko is going to get more minutes for sure. I guess they maybe don't have to go to Alex Len, and they don't want to because they can just go Hayes Koloko. But Koloko's probably got to play some time at the 4. Koloko's probably going to be a pretty good play because he's averaged, I think, a better fantasy point per minute score. Koloko's at 0.74, so he's better than Bronny. Good rebounder, 13 rebounds per 100. Not great at scoring, only 13 there. Man. But he's going to look good because he'll get the rebounds. Jordan Goodwin hasn't been very good as a Laker. He's going to be pretty close to a must play. Shake Milton, I think, still has to play a ton of minutes at guard. I think you're going to literally want to play every Laker. Like, I don't know how you wouldn't. Especially if the Bucks are going to be playing half-ass too. So yeah, that's the Lakers for today, man. It's a really weird team. I will have more for the deeper dive because they're going to update Stokastic data and I'll rerun everything. But just, again, we're freewheeling here because it's fucking stupid. Brooklyn, you are really one of the funniest people I know, Robert Griffin the Turd. You make me laugh in a way not everybody in the world does. Reddish in play. Literally every Laker is going to be in play. I need to see how somebody else interprets the minutes here for me to get a read on it. But like, again, it's something we talked about a lot on this channel, on the Stokastic shows I do. Whenever you have a team which is missing all of its core guys, You just want to get to that team in heavy doses because there's just possessions that normally don't exist, opportunities that normally don't exist for every other player. So you want to try to isolate, in my opinion, like if I were you guys, and this is how my projections work, I would go to the Lakers per 100 possession stats on Basketball Reference right now. Look at who performs the best in sort of this blank template because they are literally going to be able to do whatever they want today. And there's probably somebody in the team who is very good in terms of those numbers. But anyway, slate looked fun until like I think this is what makes it fun. It's also stupid too because it's like there's less money in the tournaments today because of the obviously March Madness, but that's that. Anyway, Brooklyn here. We talked about them already. Getting a lot of Russell, Zaire, Watford, Sharp. These guys all look pretty good today. Sharp, I buy into the least. We don't need that value anymore. I think that goes away. Watford, as I mentioned, going to be your Russell sort of pivot. He and Jalen Wilson going to be lead ball handler whenever Russell is not. If Russell somehow fails, it's maybe because a guy like Watford got going more. They took a few minutes away from Russell. Those things happen enough for this team. So, Brooklyn's not playing for anything. Indiana is playing for something. So, there's always a risk that Russell could get pulled, but I think in that kind of situation, that's when they play Russell more. So like Russell's a play, but I think here you're going to have a good amount of nets, but probably less nets now if the Lakers are a serious option. What else now? 90% of bracket Sos? Oh, okay, because of Clemson. Well, hey, more power to him. So Stokastic updated. So should we just go there? Should we just do that part of the show now? I think that might be more logical. Let's look at Stokastic data. Normally, again, guys, if you want all this data I have on screen, you get it for yourself. Join the Squirt Squad tier down below and you can get it. It'll be updated here, but I think in terms of making the show valuable, instead of just like a live me fucking losing my mind show, let's try to look at this data and see what we can do. All right, so Data Hub, let's go over here. So Stokastic updated 426. We are going to go over here now. All right, so who is getting Lakers minutes? Also, why is this like so fucking small? That's what she said. All right. Can you just search Lakers? No, you can't do it that way. Filter. All right. So they're given 35 minutes to connect, 33 to Jordan Goodwin, 26 to Markieff Morris. So that is definitely a pro Markieff stand. 3K playing 26 minutes at 1.1 fantasy point per minute. So Markieff Morris might be your lock button guy. That's silly. Gabe Vincent, 34 minutes. He's not been very good, but he's in the mix. They do have guards. Like not good guards, but do have guards. Shake Milton, 28 minutes. He got 28 minutes last time Luka was out, but Reeves played. So I think 28 minutes might be conservative. Jackson Hayes, 26. Unfortunately, they're not thinking it's a Bronny day. Too many pure guards ahead of him, unfortunately. Koloko, they're giving 14. Cam Reddish, 19. Jemison, 5. Alex Len, 4. Frankly, a little bit less appealing than you would think besides the top tier of these guys, which is Markieff Morris. Again, he looks like probably a lock button play. Even if he only gets you, as we talked about yesterday, 10 fantasy points less than the 28 that they're projecting him for. He's giving you 18 fantasy points then, and he probably was in a lot of people's lineups anyway at 3K minimum, so he probably doesn't kill you. So I think Markieff Morris, as long as he starts, I think is a lock button play in 2025. Dalton Connect, 41 fantasy points for him. Again, lock button plays. They'll probably have him lower than I will. If I had to guess, I will have him high 40s. Shake Milton, only 26, but still a very good value. Jordan Goodwin, 32, still a good value here. Let's see, these guys you want to mix in, but neither of them look like lock them in kind of plays. Gabe Vincent looks okay. Jackson Hayes looks okay. Your big issue here is besides Connect, it's really flat. Like there's nobody who's kind of jumping out in these projections. That's what that looks like. We're going to run the sim here. We're going to hit, actually, let's go down to Unabated now. So we've seen now the projections. I think I'm doing my job here, taking you through the important stuff as best I can. Let's see what Unabated's best bets right now. Then we'll do a DFS sim and maybe they might even update the projections a little bit in between. So let's see what we get here and let's watch this video about Unabated and let me recenter myself amidst the chaos that honestly, this is the fun part, guys. I enjoy it, but watch the video. Do my work. Like, just watch the video, guys. Just fucking. What are you gonna do? when I was in high school, and Unabated's a great product, but we've done this so many times, so spare with. We'll do graphs, whatever. When I was in high school, in my Spanish class, we had the laziest teacher. He had tenure because I went to a private school, not because I'm rich, but because I'm so poor and so minority I got into a private school. Oh wait, here comes those graphs. Anyway, he made us watch Traffic over the course, like the movie Traffic, over the course of like 20 classes. We're only in 40-minute classes. And of course, in Traffic, there's nude scenes and women brokering BJs for drugs. Anyway, you shouldn't watch Traffic in class, but I hope that tied all together. Well, enough for you guys. But Unabated's a great partner here because they allow me to do things like that. I don't think this is losing my mind. This is actually me. This is me crushing. But thank you, Laura. Back in the days of Fast Study, things got weird. Though at that point, I certainly would have been talking this much. Let's see. Your best bets on Unabated, though. Here's what we should be talking about. This graph right here. You would be getting $50K in money coming your way if you place $100 bets 30 minutes before tip-off, everyone with a 5% or higher edge with Unabated's premium data. And that's what you get with Unabated. It's not a bullshit product made by somebody off of Twitter that's just meant to kind of steal your money so they can play some shitty parlays. It's made by professional bettors for professional bettors with a professional data team led by Justin Fan behind it. And it has been a great product to work with. I've loved looking at their data throughout the year, comparing it to mine, seeing things that maybe I should do differently. And I know for myself, like in the amount of guys on their Discord and Unabated, people using this data are making a lot of money off it. So even if you're just doing pick'ems and stuff, you don't have to buy the $500 right now. Buy a monthly package. Get 20% off, link down below. But do check it out before the season ends because this has been a really good edge all year. It's hard for me to sell betting products on a DFS show, but for you guys out there, like I'll tell you what, I'm gonna wade in more again after now my trauma from having to shut down probably's gone away. I'm wading more in the betting world again myself, using the various products, trying to get a read on how I want to create content around it. For you guys out there, I would say really try to get in with Unabated while you can, because if you're going to put in the work, and frankly, the work for this is like a little bit less than an odds shopper. You have to be there all day long kind of doing stuff to get the maximized value. Here, it's like if you're just hitting it before tip-off, you're going to get some good results. So check it out for yourself. It goes through the playoffs as well. And again, buy it for the rest of the season or whatever, but do check it out. Anyway. All right, let's simulate the points bets here. As you can see, we now have a few more conditional projections brought in. Damian Lillard, McBride, Halliburton, Giddey. So we are losing 4 teams in terms of the betting pool here. But maybe we'll have some Lakers stuff come up now, which would be my hope. Traffic was not a good watch in 40-minute increments. No. And honestly, even less, because I think we still had to do like part of the class. But that dude was so lazy. Like, he really had the biggest script in the world. Mr. Mandel, if you went to my high school, Horace Mann in Riverdale, that's what we're talking about. Great guy, though. I had no issue with him. I got good grades. Yusuf Nurkic, you got under 6 points for Yusuf Nurkic. Diabate was a Q tag, I believe, earlier in the day. Presume he's not now because he wasn't on the list before. Let's check that real fast. Now, Diabate's still a Q tag, so yeah, I don't know that I would love this bet, because if Diabate is out, you're just going to get a few more Nurkic minutes naturally. But assuming Diabate doesn't go, I guess this is accounting for Diabate being a Q tag. I would have a tough time with this one, but it is your best EV bet right now on PrizePicks. Under 6 points for Yusuf Nurkic. Good to go on PrizePicks with 14% EV. You don't want it on Underdog. They've already moved the line a little bit, it looks like. But DraftKings and FanDuel also get a 10.7% EV for Yusuf Nurkic. Under 6 points, under 5.5 points on the big sports books. We got Zach LaVine under 23.5 points. And he's not been very good with De'Aaron Fox. Obviously, he's never been on the court with him, or Domantas Sabonis on the court. But he is still a player that, probably do for positive regression. As it is, though, 11.1% EV for him under 23.5 points on FanDuel at minus 114 odds. And it's a grand slam. You can play it on PrizePicks for LaVine under 23.5 on there. And DraftKings as well under 23.5. Slightly less favorable odds than FanDuel, but still good at minus 120 odds on there. We got... Come on, man. Howie Mandel, I bet, with like a glove, because he's got OCD stuff and has to be clean. Draymond Green under 9.5 points, looking good on DraftKings Sportsbook. Minus 110 odds on there, get you 9% EV. And still bettable on PrizePicks, Underdog, and FanDuel, the same minus 118 odds under 9.5 points for Draymond on there. So Draymond Green, grand slam for him as well, playable everywhere. LaMelo Ball under 24.5 points for him. 8.7% EV on DraftKings Sportsbook, minus 115 odds to get that for LaMelo Ball under 24.5 points. Looking playable on PrizePicks and Underdog as well as DraftKings. So Again, a lot of little grand slams here. Jakob Poeltl, 7.8% EV for under 11.5 points. Any under for the Raptors feels cozy right now because the minutes not very stable, but 7, and especially this the big minutes because you have Orlando Robson, you have Castleton there, you have Mobo too. Like you just have too many Raptors that just play shitty, pointless minutes. Jakob Poeltl under 11.5 points right now, about 7.8% EV on that one. And that is on Underdog, the lower for Jakob Poeltl. And hey, by the way, guys, a little teaser for tomorrow's Splash Play stream. Hey, go check out Underdog. You want to take advantage of that EV? It's full screen ads for Underdog coming, guys. Have no fear. Okay, so we got Nick Smith, 6.7% EV for him is our last bet for points. Under 9.5 points, minus 115 odds on DraftKings Sportsbook is your best bet. Still bettable on your pick'em sites, but a little bit less EV there at 5.5% for under 9.5 points for Nick Smith. Let's go to rebounds. All right, let's see what we got. Such a silly, silly day. Why are we not? Do the Lakers have a Q tag? Where are the projections at? Oh, they must not have done the Lakers yet because of everything changing. That's why. Okay. So Unabated seemingly still working on Lakers stuff, but there aren't Lakers lines on the sports books really. So I don't think you're missing much with what they've done with Lakers so far, but it's going to highlight that here. Because I would think the initial lines that come out for the Lakers is going to be very silly. Just keep an eye out for that if you have Unabated's data as well. Yusuf Nurkic under 5.5 rebounds. Again, though you run the risk here with the Q tag for Diabate, but Nurkic under 5.5 rebounds, 28.3% EV on FanDuel Sportsbook. Honestly, this much EV on the under makes me think that Diabate probably won't play. Anyway, Nurkic looking good. You just have to take the risk that Diabate is a Q tag right now, and he would free up a few more minutes for Nurkic. Jonathan Mobo under 5.5 rebounds for him on Underdog. The lower gets you 23.6% EV for your Underdog Pick'ems, which should be playing. So please check it out for yourself. Jonathan Mobo under 5.5 rebounds, 23.6% EV on Underdog. We got Jamison Battle, 11.1% EV on PrizePicks. That is your best and only spot to take that one for Jamison Battle under 4 rebounds today on PrizePicks. Nick Smith under 2.5 rebounds on DraftKings Sportsbook. Playable, not available anywhere else. So lots of single book/pick'em site bets. But Nick Smith minus 154 odds on DraftKings Sportsbook gets you 10.7% EV. D'Angelo Russell under 2.5 rebounds for him, plus 135 odds on DraftKings. So plus money, 10.3% EV on there, but not available anywhere else. Tyrese Martin under 3.5 rebounds, looking good on DraftKings Sportsbook as well. 9.3% EV at minus 110 odds under 3.5 rebounds for him. Bettable as well on PrizePicks and Underdog, but you probably don't want it on FanDuel. And Keon Johnson looking good on DraftKings under 4.5 rebounds, minus 140 odds on DraftKings, get to 7% EV. Assists up next. A little wacky. I apologize for the wacky video, but if you got value to this video, guys, boy, you should be here on days where I'm really on point and the news aligns perfectly because I crush it then. Please subscribe down below with the like button, leave a comment. YouTube at this point of the year, I know NBA, some people out there don't love the trash season of NBA like I do. The views do hurt a little bit. The algorithm for YouTube also always a battle. So please do subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment after the video. It goes a long way for me here. And shout out to all you guys who do that every video. I appreciate it. And do hop in the Discord too. Get a membership for $5. I would love to have more people in Discord to talk about Quentin Grimes with on a daily basis. Shout out to our guys who are in there, talk about NBA regularly. But please do, support the channel if you can here. I'm trying to really recenter my focus around everything Splash Play this year, and there's a lot of things I'm trying to work on behind the scenes to make that even better. So please just, if you enjoy what you're getting here, show some love if you can. DeRozan, we got, thank you, Larry. I appreciate it. It's just like, it feels scattershot more. I like having a nice organized show, segment by segment. We know what we're doing, but we'll get through it. DeMar DeRozan, best assist bet right now, over 4.5 assists on PrizePicks right now, 28.3% EV. DeMar DeRozan line looking good everywhere besides Underdog, which pulled DeRozan. So DraftKings, FanDuel, DeRozan, best on PrizePicks, over 4.5 assists. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. And it'll never change that way either. Unless FanDuel cuts me a deal, but FanDuel doesn't care about anything. They also, by the way, I was going through the Odd Shopper tool. FanDuel Sportsbook, the only one where the Odd Shopper tool would have had a negative ROI on because they're that stingy with their lines. So just, that's FanDuel for you. I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan. I've never been a fan. I've always been a DraftKings guy, then an Underdog guy. But like FanDuel and PrizePicks are like two things where they're not my products really. Yusuf Nurkic, but PrizePicks, Well, no. Okay, come on. Prize prize picks for Yusuf Nurkic here. They're giving away money to Yusuf Nurkic, but not me. 15.8% EV for Yusuf Nurkic under 1.5 assists. Same thing we've talked about over and over again with Nurkic's lines. I think they're being a little bit soft here. The Diabate being a Q tag, that is a risk point for Nurkic, but the EV is there from Unabated's data. And look, Unabated always knows a bit more than me. Trenton Watford over 3.5 assists, plus 118 odds on FanDuel Sportsbook. Gets you 8.5% EV. Not available anywhere else. So Watford only on FanDuel. There you go. There's usage for FanDuel. Plus 118 odds for them. Brandon Pajemski under 3.5 assists, looking good on PrizePicks, where it's 8.4% EV. You don't want that one anywhere else, though, because it's either not available or not plus EV. Moses Moody under 1.5 assists, good to go on PrizePicks and Underdog. Your two pickup sites have him good for the lower on 1.5 assists for Moses Moody. Nick Smith under 2.5 assists, 7.7% EV for you. Waiting, yearning for you, and minus 180 odds on DraftKings. A lot of juice. I always hate those highly juiced bets. Keon Johnson plus 114 on DraftKings. Over 2.5 assists for him, 5.4% EV. And that's all you're getting on assists for right now. PRA is the last stop on our unabated journey. Again, shout them out here. Great tools, 20% off. Link down below. PP limited my taco. Oh, that's, you never want to hear about a limited taco. We hate to hear that. PrizePicks ban me. That sucks. Well, look, no respect to you guys. I would still gladly take their money. If they wanted me to do some pick'em bullshit, gladly. If anybody wants to be my exclusive pick'em provider, because that did not come from this Underdog deal that I may or not be signing, may or may not be signing soon. I'm happy to promote multiple companies, guys. So please, PrizePicks. Let me know if you're watching. If you're one of the 125 people watching the stream, let's give it a ring. Jonathan Mobo, Underdog here. We got 22.5% EV for Underdog, the lower on 14.5 PRAs for Mobo. Too many big men for Toronto. I'm okay with the unders there on really all of them. Gary, really any under for Toronto I can live with, no matter what player they are. Gary Payton under 11.5 PRAs looking good as well on Underdog, the lower. Actually on PrizePicks and Underdog. 11.5 PRAs for Payton, the under, 15.3% EV slash the lower for Gary Payton Jr. Don't take his dad. Yusuf Nurkic, once again, the Diabate risk remains, but 13.1% EV on your pickup sites for under 12.5 PRAs for Yusuf Nurkic. Jamal Shed under 14 PRAs, 11.1% EV only on PrizePicks. Zach LaVine under 32.5 PRAs, 9.8% EV on FanDuel. Still pretty good on DraftKings as well, where it's 8.6%. And on PrizePicks as well, under 32 PRAs for Zach LaVine looking good. He has not been good so far. Really can't be more clear about that. For whatever reason, that's a bonus. I don't know why that would be. Malik Monk, maybe beef with DeMar DeRozan from the Chicago days. Malik Monk under 30.5, or excuse me, over 30.5 PRAs. Don't take the under. Over 30.5 PRAs looking good on your pick'em site. So the higher for Malik Monk over 30.5 PRAs gets you 5.8% EV. Still bettable on DraftKings over 30.5 on there at minus 120 odds. You probably wouldn't want it on FanDuel, though. And lastly, Draymond Green under 21.5 PRAs, minus 104 on FanDuel is your best bet. The only bet you'd want to take for old Draymond, old Surly Dre. All right, let's do the DFS sim. Last stage in our journey here. So we saw the data before because we just had to know. Now we'll see what Stokastic sims think about it. You did not really get to see my sim data today, but if you do want to see my projections and all that, do join the Squirt Squad tier down below or just get in the Discord. I do still drop in the updates channel, like the way that I'm feeling about players when it's important enough to mention it. So yeah, just join the Discord. Hey, you know what would be helpful? Show a graphic with that. Join the Discord. Only $4.99 to join. Link in the description. Lots of great guys in there. If you are a man in a relationship, if you're a man not in a relationship, I think you're going to do well. If you're a man who likes dick jokes, I think you're going to do well. But that's, really if you just want to talk about sports and you want to hear my takes about things, because I think I have to go back on Twitter to promote myself better at some point. But I'm really delaying that as long as possible because I just like talking in the Discord and with people who I know there aren't going to be shitheads. So that's what you get on the Discord for me. Do check it out. And while we're running the sim here, of course, 5,000 lines being built, competing 10,000 times. We're going to keep whoring. We got Unabated, 20% off. Stokastic, 15% off. Link in the description too. And an Underdog. Wow. What would motivate me to make a brand new graphic for Underdog? You got to wonder. People have been wondering where my NFL best ball streams have gone. But please, we'll hopefully have some resolution tomorrow. Hopefully. Love chatting in the Discord. Love chatting with you, Spurious News in the Discord. Shout out Marie here. Glad to see you. Tons of apps out there. Don't be limited to a couple, especially if the tools like Unabated or OddsShopper. That is absolutely true. Even for me, I am so lazy. Well, here's one of the issues. BetMGM somehow took my name in wrong when I'd first signed up for BetMGM, never deposited, and they missed like the last letter of my last name. So they can never verify my identity, and I can't play on BetMGM, and it's been years, and I can't figure out how to get them to actually work it. Trying to figure it out today. Huge fucking hassle. That's the trade-off of it all, I guess. But anyway, you should have money in every book if you can, because that is going to be the best way to get your most value out of everything for sure. All right, so let's see. Top 150 lineups here, but let's read the top ones from Stokastic and updated at 4:33 here. So you're getting data relatively hot off the presses from Stokastic Sims. We got Josh Giddey here in your top ROI lineup. We got Jordan Goodwin, Dalton Connect. I think he should be in every lineup at this point. Giannis, Yusuf Nurkic, Shake Milton, Markieff Morris, Karl-Anthony Towns. So you can afford Giannis, Giddey, and Towns now because some of the value that's really quickly materializing on the slate. Got Tyrese Halliburton, Dalton Connect, Jordan Goodwin, Draymond Green, Cat once again, Lillard with the Q tag on him. So getting some leverage on Giannis in this one. Markieff Morris, Shake Milton. So lots of Lakers value. Couple Q tag point guards here who will have upside if they play. I get it. I mean, I get what Stokastic is doing with these lineups here, and I have no issue with it, really. And they're rotating more Lakers in. So this is where a sim, I think, really comes in handy. If you just run projections like I do sometimes when I'm on a shorter amount of time, you end up really concentrating on the guys, even if they're like just one fantasy point higher because they look like a better value metric or whatever. You get them easily. A sim will balance you out more where you get your Goodwin. You're still getting Goodwin here. Then you get some Gabe Vincent. You're getting your Markieff Morris. You're getting your Shake Milton. Like, it'll mix it up for you more in a way that's really beneficial for you. And it's really hard to do in your own, if you're running like an optimizer. Like, I love the solver, but it's harder to kind of manage that for yourself if you're not like directly hand building like a Utica or somebody would. Number 3 ROI lineup: D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, Josh Giddey, Miles Bridges, Cat once again, Shake Milton once again, Dalton Connect, Markieff Morris. Number 4, Josh Giddey. We got Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect, Giannis, Cat, Shake Milton, Gary Trent Jr. makes this one, and Markieff Morris. I probably would not be dying to play Gary Trent unless Lillard were out, and even then I wouldn't be dying to play him. And number 5, LaMelo Ball, Jordan Goodwin, Josh Giddey yet again, Markieff Morris, Miles Turner, Shake Milton, Dalton Connect, and Damian Lillard. So again, I like most of those teams. A little more Giddey than I would have thought, but I mean, Giddey's been great whenever the primary point guards aren't in, and they're not in yet again. Shake Milton is your top ROI player according to Stokastic. Highest ROI at 37% by a pretty wide margin. Quentin Post at number 2, 19% ROI. So no real big value, big men winners of the Lakers, it looks like. So they're giving you Quentin Post as your value instead. Josh Giddey, 18% ROI. A lot of him at 8,500. Point guard shoot, small forward eligibility, though, does help out. Gabe Vincent, number 4. Noah Clowney, number 5. Why? I guess more minutes because of Cam Johnson gone. And he will shoot a little more threes, so I guess I could live with that. Jordan Goodwin, we know why. Dalton Connect, we know why. Top exposed players, 78% Dalton Connect for the field, 95% according to Stokastic, and they're top 150. So Dalton Connect, about as close to a lock button play as you will get from a sim tool, even on a 5-game slate like we have today. We got Markieff Morris, 92% for him, expected 89% ownership. The field won't play him that much, but I would keep that in there. It's the last game on the slate. If you don't get a Markieff Morris start, and I don't really know how you wouldn't at this point with the lack of bigs they have, Markieff Morris is going to be a strong play no matter what, but the people won't play him quite as much as I think Stokastic projects here. So keep in mind with them thinking that almost everybody is going to play him, they still want to get 92% of him. Shake Milton, only 13% projected ownership. They're giving you 76. So he played 28 minutes last time. Luka didn't play, as I mentioned earlier. That was also a game where Reeves did play. Now you're getting the both of them out. So I think Shake Milton are going to be getting a good amount of minutes. Jordan Goodwin's already playing big minutes. Now he's going to play more without people oppressing his usage. 70% exposure. They can 61% for the field. Giannis, you're getting with the fields 54%. You never want to go too crazy on the pay up option guy on a slate like this because it's too easy to get to that pay up option guy. I still want to play Giannis, and I think probably like half my lineups as well. But I think you want to have some other pay up options besides Giannis if you can. Unless more guys get ruled out, and at a certain point you just have to play Giannis because it's like impossible not to. Towns, 51% exposure, Fields at 43, and Giddey, you're getting more than 3x field, almost 4x a field on Giddey. 33% exposure compared to the Fields 8. Your highest leverage, guys, and shout Roger for the turd for the chat. You've been a member for 1 month. You guys should be a member. I think it'd be great. Join this channel, join the NFL channel, but join one of them. Shake Milton here, your highest leverage guy, 63% leverage for him. Giddey, 24% at number 2. Connect in almost every lineup, 17% leverage is at number 3. Jordan Goodwin, number 4, 9% leverage. Gabe Vincent, 8% leverage. Cat, 7%. Noah Clowney, 6%. That's crazy. Well, fuck BetMGM if they won't give me an account and they're running ads. Well, I guess no, don't fuck them if they're giving me ads. Buy direct ads and give me an account that works, and I'll play on BetMGM. For the love of God. How many people can I solicit on this channel at once? But anybody, please. D'Angelo Russell, 26% exposure. Fields at 40. So they're low on D'Angelo Russell, negative 14% leverage. Miles Bridges, negative 13. Jackson Hayes, negative 11. Cam Payne, negative 10. Torian Prince, negative 7. Zaire Williams, negative 7%. And Malik Monk, negative 7%. And of course, all these numbers being a reference compared to the, a reference point rather, compared to the expected ownership for Stokastic is what they want to give you in the top 150. So keep that in mind. You got nasal spray. So it might be catered more to your interests than I think something for everybody. Here's some good ass looking cake. I love that it's giving you all ads at the same time. At least it's consistent. So that's the slate for today, guys. I will be on the deeper dive in 8 minutes. So hopefully Eric Lindquist sent me the DM because I need to know the StreamYard link. I'm also going to give you guys my splash plays for the day. So before I do that, one last run through Stokastic, 15% off. They don't have promos for you guys because they don't like to give them out besides seasonal things. You can always get 15% off for me. So if you want to try a new tool, whatever, try a different Sims thing, different data, different sports. I played PGA yesterday because I have access to their data. You can do that for yourself. So check it out. 15% off, link down below. Of course, Unabated, our presenting sponsor, great partner here, great betting data that put you up 50 grand if you just listen to them and bet 30 minutes or tip off every day. And it makes it easy for you using Justin Fan, the team's data over there. So check them out. 20% off, DFS projections, all that stuff. And Underdog, hey, go play on there too. $1,000 of bonus cash. Link in the description. Do check that out. All right, splash plays for the day. Dalton Connect has to be. I mean, Dalton Connect, I think, is it. He's going to probably be in every lineup for me. Besides that, it's hard, a little bit harder for me with my data not being all the way updated for this Lakers stuff. I think Russell is still a splash play for me. I'll take the shot with the field there, playing 20 minutes or so, or 28 minutes or so. That feels pretty good. If Lillard is out, Kevin Porter Jr. will be every lineup of mine, so I will say that right away. I do expect him to get closer to being out than not. Campaign, if you get McBride out, same thing there. Towns still a strong play. Giannis strong play. I think you know the core from watching the video, but I'll tell you more on my core on the deeper dive in Stokastic in a moment. Gamble responsibly, guys, even it's always money time here. And really do, last plug, join the Discord. Again, I really am going to try to push this more because I want to build that community up. It's nice just being able to pop in there, talk to people about stuff, and not to deal with the weird trolls you get on Twitter who just like don't fucking even grasp stuff. So that's what I'm trying to build on that Discord. If you want to be a part of it, do. And also, if you want my data that I have on screen here, going to keep updating throughout the playoffs. The stream schedule is probably going to move around come playoff time, but I am going to be doing the data every day. So do check it out for yourself and join one of the tiers if you want to get my projections or exportable version or just like the readable version like you see on screen every day. And I'll gonna go head over to Stokastic, guys. So I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Chaotic stream, but I hope you had a good value out of it. Hope you had a good time. I'll see you guys again soon. Enjoy your days. Good luck. Bye-bye.